indent on it to protect the main sidewalk. Cut that off, put in a piece of granite, and plus the fellow from Keeler said to Steve, he said, you know, when you're doing this, he said, you might want to think about moving that.
It's not because I'm rude, Mr. Clement, that I did not return your phone call. It's because the content of the message you left on my answering machine disturbed me. In it, you asked my husband and I to meet with you to discuss the local law, thinking we could come up with something that just the three of us could agree on. And if you think I like standing here, I don't. I'm here to state that we have no authority to speak for the people in this room. We also do not have the authority to make any arrangements in regard to local law 1. We believe in total transparency. 3 years later, the progress of local law 1 2015 is still being obfuscated. It seems like it should be simple. A legacy of clean air, drinkable water, good health, and a nice town for our kids and grandkids to grow up in. So what is this all about? Why is this taking so long and at such a price? I ask that you allow local law 1 of 2015 to proceed through the process and come to a vote.
Thank you. John Volpe, you're next.
Wait a minute. Did I hear what I thought I heard, that Bob called you to ask you to make a deal or something?
Not to make a deal. The message, we didn't respond to it, but the message was that he was interested in talking over option. And
Just the three of us.
we didn't feel that we should do that.
The Southall were the ones that started this, and which you said, you originally started it. So I thought, well, I would kind of, I had an olive branch in my hand there when I called you. I didn't want it wasn't that we should make some under the table arrangement. I just wanted to talk to you about it, that's all. Plain and simple. I don't intend to bury this. I'm sure I can't. I have no intention to do that. And I had, I meant no disrespect to you, and nobody in this room has heard me say it.
Has heard you say what?
No, you're saying that I said that you were rude. I never said that.
Town official, not you.
I said town.
Okay. All right. Enough said. You've made your point, it's enough said on the subject for now.
So I just want to say one more thing, Bob, and that is, I just want to clarify that you know that you can't call her up and do that, right? You can't do that legally.
There wasn't anything legal about it.
Right, that's the problem. There wasn't anything legal about it.
Well, I intended to break no law.
I know that. But I want you to hear you say that you know that you don't have the right to call somebody up and make some kind of an arrangement with them without the other four guys knowing about it.
If that was my intention, then I would be totally wrong, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Yes.
Bob, I did not intend to speak on this matter tonight, but when I was in the town hall this morning asking for certain things, which I felt that you were taking umbrage at my requesting, like bylaws, what rules does the town govern itself by, etc., you said, it's ethics, and you handed me the Code of Ethics for the Town of Stafford. And little did I know, I did not come to ask for that today, but you handed it to me, and I'm going to read what you handed to me. Apropos, I did not know this was going to happen, and apropos of that incident. Municipal officer or employee, Code of Ethics, Town, Section 12, number 4, conflict of interest. No town employee shall have any interest, financial or otherwise, direct or indirect, or engage in any business or transaction or professional activity, or incur any obligation of any nature which is in substantial conflict with the proper discharge of his duties in a public interest. I think this applies to this situation. This goes on. On the next page, G, each town employee shall endeavor to pursue a course of conduct which will not raise suspicion among the public that he is likely to be engaged in acts that are in violation of a trust. And that phone call suggesting a conference alone with the Southalls raises that question. And I put that to the town board to address.
If Bob called Kevin Earl and asked for his opinion on the law, what would be your thoughts on that?
Did you just ask me that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're quoting the ethics portion of it, so if Bob
Well,
called...
yes, because interestingly, Bob handed this to me today. I didn't come in and even ask for it, but he handed it to me. And in reading it, I just think that that does not smack of transparency of government, and it raises the issue with me as to whether or not this is above suspicion. That kind of interaction would be above suspicion. How does it make you feel?
So far, the only thing I've heard is data gathering.
What's data gathering about meeting alone with the Southalls to resolve town, whatever it's called, number 1? What does that have to do with data gathering?
From the sounds of it, from the sounds of what your statement was and
No,
Bob's
it's your
statement
code of
was,
ethics.
the only thing I'm hearing is he wants more opinion on where this law is going to go.
That's not what that said. That's not what that conversation was at all.
All right, well, repeat it again, so.
Please, Vicky, repeat it again.
I'll be glad to play it in executive session.
No, what was the content?
What's wrong with playing in executive
Well,
session?
you don't have to play it, I'll repeat it.
Well, I don't know about you, but I have a hard time repeating things after a couple weeks.
I don't, this is
So
very,
if you want to know
this
what
was
it
very,
says,
this was
I'll
very
be glad
simple.
to-
This was very simple. Should I have done it? Well, it appears as though I probably shouldn't, but I had quite honestly just wanted to talk to you, the two of you, about it.
I think-
Because you were the people that brought this to the table originally.
Well, then let me
And
say,
that I didn't intend that we should prepare any document or do any under-the-table activities. I just wanted to have a candid conversation with you about this. And what it has morphed into now, you're trying to paint me as the bad guy here, that I'm trying to do something wrong, and I had no intention, and
No.
there was no ill intent intended.